I'm going to take a slightly different perspective on the benefits, and this is from a linguistics perspective. And one of the things that I want to emphasize, and again, that is very uncontroversial to the crowd like this, is the fact that any child can acquire more than one language. So you don't have to have any special skills, you don't have to be in any sense exceptional to be able to acquire more than one language. And in fact, that's a norm around the world. And as long as you are receiving input consistently in more than one language, you are likely to end up speaking those languages. To what degree of fluency, there's lots of factors that are going to determine that. But going beyond the ability to communicate and everything that you mentioned, which are really important aspects of it, speaking two languages has actually effects on our cognitive abilities, and this is something that we heard about in a talk earlier by Dr. Callahan, and she summarized some of those findings in a really good way. But the idea here is that as a bilingual speaker, as you're kind of juggling the two languages, those two languages are constantly available and active in your brain as you are communicating. And so what you have to do, you kind of have to always suppress one language. You have to say like, okay, I need to not use my Spanish words right now because I'm speaking to somebody who understands English, and vice versa. As you're listening, you need to kind of be sort of picking out the language that is going to give you the best understanding of the communication that's happening. That kind of flexibility, that kind of juggling results actually in these general cognitive enhanced abilities. And so what these bilingual speakers have been shown to be able to do is they are better at focusing their attention on a task. They're better at multitasking. They're better at disregarding irrelevant information when they are doing different tasks. And this goes beyond language, right? This goes beyond processing language. It goes to these other kinds of activities that you could be doing. In fact, when you actually look at the physiology of the brains through brain imaging, the areas that are dedicated in your brain to language processing are actually physically bigger. They tend to be bigger in bilingual speakers, and they tend to be more active, right? So the connections between the areas of the brain that are dedicated to processing language tend to be strengthened in bilingual speakers. One of the really sort of convincing arguments to me also of these benefits is that actually it extends to old age. So there is some research, and again, you all may be familiar with this, but I think it's good to emphasize it again, is that the onset of Alzheimer's disease and of dementia has been shown to be delayed in bilingual speakers. The idea being that, again, you are exercising the brain as you're juggling these two or more languages, and so having a nimble brain, an active brain, is beneficial in your older age as well. And so there is no evidence of any kind in these areas that knowing another language would be harmful or that it would make you not a good communicator in one or the other language, or that it would make you sort of not being completely proficient in your abilities.